Happy Tuesday in the fantastic city of Newburyport, Massachusetts. My name is Matt Boger. I represent the federally designated organ procurement organization responsible each and every day to help save and enhance lives through what I call the miracle of organ donation. Mayor, thank you for hosting us in your house to celebrate Valentine's Day. Make sure to get a heart and get some chocolate, send it to your loved one, but also connecting the idea of the heart. This heart can mean so many things. This heart on Valentine's Day means love. This heart every other day, and even on Valentine's Day, means that you are a registered organ donor. And I want to thank the RMV each and every day for asking that question. Would you like to register as an organ and tissue donor? It can truly save a life. We have individuals here today who are personally touched by organ donation in that they are alive today because of the transplant, and also the memory of individuals who've lost loved ones who became donors but realized that their loved one is living on through someone else. I do want to thank from the get-go the state of Massachusetts, and honestly every state in the United States, in that in all 50 states at the RMV, DMV, BMV, the question, would you like to register as an organ donor, is presented to the general public. We are the only public health question presented on a state document that's seen by the vast majority of individuals. In Massachusetts, 98% of all people who register do so through the RMV. 98% of all people who register do so on their driver's license. Good to see you. And we want to thank them for doing that. I also want to say thank you to the Massachusetts Department of Public Health. If you don't mind, right here, right behind the fantastic senator, mass.gov/organ donor. You can register as an organ donor online through the state website, mass.gov/organ donor. Organ donation is a voluntary choice. You can say yes, or you don't have to check that yes box. But it is not a neutral choice. Both the state and federal government strongly supports organ donation and provides the access to do that, and that is through the RMV. Today is about love. Today is about hearts. And I'm so pleased to introduce one of our fantastic volunteers who's going to share his story about being alive today because of a heart transplant. Gary, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it.
Good morning. My name is Gary Swain, and I'm 18 months out from a heart transplant. I had my transplant done at Brigham and Women's Hospital. They did the first solid organ transplant in the country, I must say. And my story's not remarkable. I was extremely active throughout my life, and I had developed what we call dilated cardiomyopathy in my early years, and I kept going. This past June 21, I developed an arrhythmia. I went into Brigham for an ablation. I came out with a heart two months later. And it's been a challenge, but I am so grateful for my donor. His name was Daniel. He was 39 years old. He was not signed up as an organ donor. It was his parents' decision to sign him, to donate his organs. They felt that he was such a loving and giving person that he would want to make sure that he went on to save lives, and he saved many, mine included. And through New England Organ Donor Services, I wrote a quick letter to my donor family anonymously. The day before they received my letter, my donor's mother, her name was Michelle, had told her son, or told her best friend, that she wanted to meet the person who got her son's heart. And that was me. We went up on Mother's Day, my wife and I, to meet with my donor's parents. Michelle got to listen to her son's heart beating in my chest on Mother's Day of 2021. You talk about emotions. But I'll give a little thing here that she wrote me this morning, and she said, quote, "My organ donor family message would be, talk to your family members before a tragedy happens. Because while we're processing the tragic loss of our son, we had to make a huge decision for Dan that could impact and save lives of others. We didn't know Dan's wishes. We said yes to organ donation based on Dan being a kind, compassionate, and selfless person. That was her message this morning to people who may consider signing up as an organ donor. I'm alive today because of that, and I am so grateful for my donor. He's 39 years old, traumatic brain injury, 2 children, 2 stepchildren, and as Michelle says, his legacy is living on through me. I'll leave it at that. Thank you. Please sign up to be an organ donor.
A true heart is beating in your chest from another individual. That is a miracle.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
And you look fantastic. And so this is the case. If you saw you walking down the road, you would never know you had a fairly significant surgery.
I have a great life ahead of me. Thanks to you.
Yeah. So what we are about is about life. It is not about death, it's about life. It's continuing someone else's life through saving someone else's life and having the memory of an individual who continues to live on. Organ donation has 2 sides. The miraculous stories of people's lives who are saved, and also the side of individuals who've lost loved ones who miss them each and every day dearly and would trade places with them, but realize that their gift was an amazing one. And we have a Newburyport resident here, Kelly Luchini, to share her story. And right there.
All right. So, yes, my name is Kelly. I'm a donor sister. Pardon me for reading, but to get through this story, it's easier. So on April 25th of 2009, a house fire claimed our family home. My brother Mike was in it. He suffered from carbon monoxide poisoning and was completely brain dead and no chance of recovery. As a family, we knew we had to let him go. Shortly after my parents informed the doctors of their decision, we were asked if we would be open to speaking with someone from the organ donation team. We knew Mike would want to help others, so that was an easy yes. And so the process began. Mike was taken off life support and passed within an hour. Later that day, we started receiving phone calls saying, we can't take his heart because it stopped on its own. We can't take his lungs because they were filled with smoke. And I remember saying out loud, please, just one, meaning please just let one organ be viable. And then we got the call and finally heard, we've got a match. Such an odd feeling. My brother was no longer, but his organ was about to save someone's life. His kidney was sent from Vermont to New York, saving a woman, age 44, a mother of 4. We've never met the recipient, but we did get a beautiful letter from her where she said, Michael is forever my angel. So fast forward to today, 14 years later, we have done so much to honor Mike. When I meet someone new, they ask, do you have siblings? I say, yes, a sister and a brother, but my brother passed. As to be expected, someone doesn't really know what to say, but I quickly turn that conversation into something much more comfortable by saying, but he saved a woman's life. So let your wishes be known. It's everyday people like all of us who can save someone's life. And to me, there is no longer is there such a thing as just one. Because at age 43, my brother saved a life, and those 4 kids still have their mom. So I was honored to be asked to ride in the Rose Bowl Parade in 2013. As the float went by, people looked at it a little confused because it's a little different from the rest of the floats. But as they understood what it meant, their faces changed with a big smile and a genuine thank you. So thank you all for allowing me to share my story and honor my brother.
Kelly, thank you so much for sharing that and the wonderful gift that your brother gave to someone else. And that is perhaps the definition of humanity, helping someone else's life being saved. We have a number of individuals that have got really impressive stories. Anne, so excited to have you here to share yours. Thanks so much.
Good morning. I'm Ann Walsh, and I'm from Newbury. And I speak and share my story to give a voice to all of the people out there who need a healthy organ. Many of these people cannot be here, but need their voices to be heard. I've lived my entire adult life knowing that I will probably need a new kidney, just like my father did, my aunt, my uncles, and my grandmother. My family has PKD, polycystic kidney disease, a hereditary kidney disease with no cure. I want everyone to know that the little heart on your driver's license is so powerful. It gives profound hope to so many people. It shows the power of what we can do for others. Thank you to all of you who have already registered, and thank you to all of you who are in the thoughtful process of considering being an organ donor. That little heart on your driver's license could change a person's life. Thank you and happy Valentine's Day.
So a little bit about the stats. Today, there's over 104,000 individuals. Actually, it's 104,326. That is a data point that's updated on a daily basis. We, as a federally designated organ procurement organization, we as a country, focus dramatically on those numbers. Sadly, 22 people die each day waiting for a life-saving organ. 22 people are going to die today because of this. We need to have more people register to see if there's that opportunity for hope. I do want to emphasize that organ donation is very, very, very rare. It does not happen often. These stories are amazing because they are the few who have received it. But we want to encourage people to register. The small step of just registering, you're more likely to need a transplant than to become an organ donor. So we really want to thank the state agency in Massachusetts, the state agency in all 50 states for presenting this important question to them. Again, today is really about the heart. And we have another individual who has one of these beating in his heart because of the gift of someone else. I am so pleased to be with my brother over here, Mike Slama, who we have done this one or two times before. So, Mike, looking forward to hearing your story again. Thanks.
Good morning. Happy Valentine's Day. Excuse me. My name is Michael Slama. I'm 72 years old and have been married to my awesome, caring wife, Nancy, for 46 years. I have 3 organ donor heroes. My first organ donor hero was Josh. After suffering with complications from hypertrophic cardiomyopathy from 1965 to 2007, I was transplanted with Josh's heart on May 30th, 2007 at the MGH Heart Center. Josh was 27 years old when he passed, and he also saved 5 other lives with his organs. When Josh was 16 years old, he received his first driver's license at a Connecticut RMV and checked the organ donor box. My wife Nancy and I have been great friends with Josh's mother and father for 15 years. Josh's mother sent me a Valentine's Day card a couple days ago. My second and third donors are living donor heroes. Kidney donors. Because of complications with anti-rejection medication, I went on kidney dialysis in April 2018. My second donor hero was Christine, who contacted us in October 2019, wanting to donate one of her kidneys to me. During the 2020 COVID crisis, she had no problem passing the qualification test at the MGH Kidney Center. Not being my blood type, she donated one of her kidneys to a lucky person in New Jersey on August 12, 2020. Her living kidney donation gave me a voucher with my blood type in order to receive a living kidney in the future. Talk to her all the time and she is doing great. On June 29, 2021, after being on kidney dialysis for 3 years, 2 months, I received a kidney from a third unknown living kidney donor hero. Wrote a letter on my first kidney transplant anniversary, but have not received a response. Words cannot express the gratitude and love that I will forever have for my 3 donor heroes. A heart transplant 3 years and 2 months of dialysis, and a living kidney transplant has kept me alive for 15 years and 8 months, which I never thought possible. My life shows how worthwhile it is to consider organ donation, tissue donation, and living kidney donation. As quoted by an anonymous person, to the world you may be one person, but to one person you may be the world. Thank you.
I have never been a golfer, but you have sponsored a golf tournament every year after you received a transplant, the Joshua Bent Golf Tournament, correct? I may be the highest score in said tournament, but I am looking forward to participating in that wonderful event. It's quite an honor, and it's a good memory that you've done to continue the gift that he's given. So thank you so much for doing that. Yeah, apparently it's documented, so I'm in trouble here. We are here to tell real life stories. This is not movies. This is not fiction. This is real life. And one individual who I've traveled throughout this region with, talking with medical schools, nursing schools, and showing the importance of medicine is a nurse herself. Carol has shared her story a number of times. It's a powerful one. Carol, appreciate everything that you do. And excited to hear your story again. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. First, I have to correct, I am not a nurse. I've only worked for doctors for 60 years. Thank you. This is Ethan. Ethan was a beautiful 11-month-old little boy who was our grandson. While we were enjoying a wonderful Easter vacation in California, where my son had recently been stationed, we took a day trip to a redwood forest for a train adventure with him, his brother Christopher, and their mom and dad. We were having so much fun, but in a split second of time, our lives changed forever. When there was a sudden gust of wind, people screaming, and Ethan, who was sleeping on his daddy's arm, was hit in the head with the falling limb of a redwood tree. In that instant, our lives changed forever. MedFlight flew him to Stanford University, where he had the most wonderful care. For 3 days, we prayed for a miracle, that he would live and be the same little boy he was when he woke up that Saturday morning. However, on the 3rd day, the pediatric neurosurgeon asked to speak to us, the grandparents, and he told us that Ethan was about to be declared brain dead, and that his mom and dad, our wonderful, heartbroken kids, had chosen to donate his organs. And in what was surely the darkest day of our lives, it seemed as if the sun came out. Our broken hearts were filled with pride and joy and comfort. Finally, something wonderful would come out of this unbelievable tragedy we were living through, and that made all the difference. Unfortunately, no one needed Ethan's heart. And at my obvious disappointment, the transplant coordinator reminded me that that was a good thing that no one that age needed a heart. But his liver was going to a little boy from the Northwest, and his 2 kidneys went to a 55-year-old man from Pennsylvania. In the period that followed, in my grief, I realized one day that the same weekend that we were praying for Ethan to live, the families of those recipients were praying just as fervently for their loved one to live, and our Ethan was the answer to their prayers. I suddenly realized how blessed we were to have had him in our lives for that short period of time. I tell this story in the hope that if I can impress just one person with the importance of organ donation, then Ethan's legacy lives on. And in so doing, Ethan has touched more people in his very short life than I will ever touch in mine. I encourage everyone to consider organ donation. And if you have a license, and if you're driving, you should have a license, get that heart on your license. It can make all the difference, not only to the recipient, but to the grieving, heartbroken family of the donor. It doesn't take away the pain, but it definitely softens the sorrow and lightens the darkness. Thank you.
That's a powerful, powerful story. Our theme today is a heart says so much. Have a heart and get a heart. Get a heart on your driver's license. This idea of being part of a community. I'm pleased to be part of the community of the organ donation community. I'm pleased to be part of this community called Massachusetts. And I encourage everyone to be part of the community of having that heart on your driver's license. Again, the likelihood of you becoming donor is very, very small, but the idea of having that heart, sharing hope that someone else could be saved is truly a miracle. We could not do this without the collaboration and the support of the federal and the state government. We in Massachusetts are lucky to be represented extremely well on Beacon Hill, but also the administration of the RMV does a fantastic job. We take pride of working with you fairly intricately each and every day on this important thing. Thank you and your hundreds of staff for what they see each and every day of the amassed amount of people coming to get a driver's license ID or real ID. Without a doubt, very positive. It's like, oh, we're thrilled to be at the RMV. So thank you so much. If you want to say a few words, we'd appreciate that. Thanks.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kropilak. I'm the acting district manager for the Northeast for the Registry of Motor Vehicles. So honored and happy to be here. Matt is a true ambassador of Donate Life, as well as some of the other ambassadors. It's simple. This is as simple as it gets. You can get this heart on your license, and you help save lives. It's a quick question that we ask, and we ask it across all service centers in the state. And to hear these stories, I apologize, I'm a little bit emotional. To hear these stories makes our job a lot easier, knowing that we can help by just asking a question and partnering with Donate Life. So from us to the constituents of Massachusetts, we ask that when we ask this question, that you seriously consider being a part of Donate Life and getting this heart on your license so that you can help someone else, God forbid something happens. So thank you for everyone. Thank you, Senator Tarr, Mayor, for being here, and thank you. Appreciate it.
Appreciate that. So just to clarify, organ donation doesn't mean that you're not going to be taken care of. Registering as an organ donor has no effect on your health care, period. Emergency room doctors, nurses, EMTs, police, fire have no say in the organ donation process, period. We are the only ones who can identify individuals as organ and tissue donors. Police, EMT, fire, hospitals do one thing and one thing only: save people's lives. Sadly, people do die each and every day, and there could be that opportunity to save a life through registering as an organ donor. Massachusetts is a leader in a number of different fields. Healthcare is definitely one of them. I cannot thank the leadership in this state enough, and my alarm's not going off. Awesome. And the collaboration that we've had from the top to the bottom, from the governor to the Senate to the House to the municipal level, I don't want to be outlandish here. There is no more friendly, more well-spoken, more local, more caring individual than the guy who's standing, I'm pretty sure, right behind me. Senator Bruce Tarr. We've been working with him for years. This is an intelligent, compassionate individual. Senator, thank you for what you do in the past. Thank you for what you do today. Thank you for what you do in the future, and appreciate you being here. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much, Matt, and good morning. It's certainly a wonderful thing to be here with all of you today, and I want to take a moment, Matt, to thank you. We've known each other for a very long time. We've been able to work together on so many things, both in regulation and statute, and together we've made steady progress in being able to create the opportunity that we celebrate and bring awareness to today. And I want to ask everyone to give you a round of applause for the work that you have done. I also want to thank you for coming to Newburyport and bringing this message to this city hall, because Newburyport is a place that knows very well how to care for each other and how to support each other and how to love each other. And it's led by a mayor that embraces those values every day in his leadership for this community. And so it's appropriate that we be here in this place to express this message and to be with each other. I want to thank all of those that have told their story today, a story that reminds us of the importance of the most seemingly simple act of just consenting to donate your organs, but an act that is so incredibly powerful. And I want to thank you for sharing that story, as you all have again and again and again. And I want to thank my colleagues in state government at the registry for creating the opportunity and making it so convenient and so easy to do this thing that is so important. You know, today is Valentine's Day, and we're all going to celebrate that, and we're going to think about the ones we love. And when we can, and they're near enough by, we're going to look into their eyes, and we're going to give them candy, and we're going to give them roses, and we're going to hope that those things help them to understand the sweetness of life and the beauty of life and the fact that we care about them. And what we're talking about today is also the ability, after a thoughtful, reflective decision, to be able to figuratively look into the eyes of somebody who's trying to cling to life. Say, I love you. And I'm going to give you something that helps you enjoy the sweetness of life and see the beauty of life and move forward with your own life as I live within you. And that gift, it doesn't cost what the roses do. It doesn't cost what the candy does. It requires you to reach down deep inside yourself, think about the power that you have to help somebody in sometimes what seems like a helpless situation and to make a difference. It doesn't cost what the roses do. It doesn't cost what the candy does. It's priceless. And I hope we'll all remember that today and every day when we have the ability to make this decision, to give this gift of life and live on through that gift and that spirit. I would encourage everyone to do that. I thank everyone for being here to be part of this. And I look forward to the day when we can have even greater numbers of people who've made that decision, made that click, written their signature, and said, I love you to someone they probably don't even know. What a great day to celebrate Valentine's Day. Thank you all.
If there ever is a legislative poet, we have just met him. And if there is this title of Shakespearean legislator, we have just met him. I am not needed. We could just have him speak the entire time. Senator, thank you so much. In all honesty, there is a lot of work that's done on the policy and legislative side. He has been in the background doing this work each and every day, and truly through your work, lives have been saved, sir. So thank you for what you have done. It really is a truly magnificent thing. I'm not even going to pretend to try to be as eloquent as you are, because I was trying to write down everything you said, which was fantastic. But as he said, we are in Newburyport. Mayor, thank you so much for hosting this event on Valentine's Day and sharing individuals in your community and the surrounding community to be part of this wonderful day, to be part of the idea of having a heart on your license, getting a heart, giving a heart, being part of life. So, Mayor, thank you for having us here and appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, New England Donor Services. Welcome to Newburyport. We're thrilled to have you all here today. It's just been so incredible to hear the stories from the donor recipients and the donor families. The fact that we're doing this on Valentine's Day makes it that much more special. It's a day all about love, and this event, Have a Heart, Get a Heart. It's about loving who you are, loving your family members, but then also loving each other as human beings. And again, I can't think of any time in our lives that we need to hear that message more and more than the time we're living in right now. So one of the great things I get to do as mayor is I get to read these proclamations. So I'm very happy to read this one today. This is presented to New England Donor Services, honoring Valentine's Day as Have a Heart and Give a Heart Day by registering as an organ donor. Whereas there are more than 104,200 Americans with more than 6,300 in New England currently waiting for a life-saving organ transplant. And whereas there are over 1 million life-enhancing tissue transplants each year that are made possible by the generous donation of corneas, bone, skin, or other tissue. And whereas we can all help to save someone's life and benefit up to 50 recipients by signing up to become an organ and tissue donor, by enrolling in the Massachusetts Donor Registry when we apply for or renew our driver's licenses, or by registering online at mass.gov/organ donor, or registerme.org. And whereas 99% of all people in Massachusetts who register to become a donor do so at the Registry of Motor Vehicles, it is fitting that Massachusetts surpasses the nation and the goal of signing up 50% of our driving population to become donors and is dedicated to making it fast and easy to sign up and save a life through our Registry of Motor Vehicles. And whereas the observance pays tribute to organ and tissue donors and their families whose decision to donate life enables others to receive life-saving organs and tissues for transplant. Now therefore I, Sean R. Reardon, Mayor of the great city of Newburyport, Massachusetts, do hereby proclaim February 14th, Valentine's Day, Have a Heart and Give a Heart Day, encouraging residents to register as an organ donor, and urge all the citizens of Newburyport to understand and participate fittingly in its observance. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Happy Valentine's Day, all. This is a day of celebration, celebrating life of those who are alive and honoring the memories of those who gave. Thank you, leadership, for doing this. And I do want to be honest, I appreciate the media's coverage. There's this phrase, if a tree falls in a forest, does it make a noise? It is if there's someone to document. And for something like this, to get the message out onto the streets, it's so important. So you have a lot to do. Thank you for covering this small, humble, but meaningful thing. This is reality. So I appreciate that. We are going to do a quick photo. So Jen, if I can grab the camera.